Yeah, so when these animals were originally described, this is the sort of specimen that was written about, and these things were actually interpreted as shrimp bodies. So, like a piece of something you'd have in a restaurant. And when I worked on this as a graduate student back in the 70s, I realized that this was not a body, but actually some kind of leg, some kind of appendage or limb. But we didn't have the rest of the body at all. So in the 1980s, we put the body together. So we found specimens that incorporated the legs and a very strange disc-like jaw, and we have actually one of those here as well. So you get some sense of this circular structure. And this was originally interpreted as some kind of jellyfish because of its radial symmetry. So in the 1980s, when we put this animal together, we found specimens of the limb and the jaw, and also the rest of the animal. So a series of flaps down the side, which it used for swimming, very large eyes, and it's pretty clear that this thing had to be some kind of predator because it's large. This is essentially pretty much the largest the Cambrian ones might have got. We have isolated limbs and jaws which you can use to infer that it might have got up to maybe 2 feet max. Mm-hmm. But the largest complete specimens are only about 8 inches long. So the complete animals are small, and then you get pieces that have fallen off and not decayed, and then you can extrapolate from what we know of the complete one to get this kind of size. So that's really where the story started. These things disappear from the Cambrian rock record at about 510 million years. And we had no idea whether they just went extinct or whether we weren't finding the right kind of rocks to preserve them in younger sediments. So that's where the Moroccan story becomes interesting, because in Morocco, south of the Atlas Mountains, we have a very substantial thickness of mudstones over a very wide area which yield these things. And that shows that they were actually still around. It's just that we weren't finding them because we weren't looking in the right places. And this is a fragment of one of the specimens that we found in Morocco. And when it was complete, it would have been about, this kind of size. And it consisted of a series of segments or divisions. And each of those segments had a number of filaments on the surface. And we think these filaments, which are here preserved probably in iron pyrite or perhaps in iron oxide, that these filaments were used for respiration. So you've got to imagine these things on the back of the animal that's modeled in the lab over there that we were just looking at.